YMH Live, A Very Cool Christmas, is this Friday. This is it. Get your tickets right now. We have all new YMH originals. We have special guest Bobby Lee, a very heavy segment, and a special pre-show VIP package with the great Josh Potter. Get into the holiday spirit with us here at YMH Studios. Go to livestream.ymhstudios.com and get tickets right now. And it says, tu n'es pas Superman. So you are not Superman, right? That's French for you are not Superman. So I think he's telling him, I mean, come on, you're the Canadian.
I know, but I can't even read English.
Welcome to your mom's house.
Do you need a new mattress? Go to satva.com/theshit now for $200 off the next purchase of your Satva mattress. It's the shit.
You're my son. I'm your mom. You're my son. I'm your mom. Ask them, will you ask them, will you get your mom? Yes, I would. You're my son. I'm your mom.
It's just like the gays. It's just like it's just like the gays. I looked at her and she looked at me and it's just like the gays.
Once in a while he calls me mom, you know what I mean?
We're both consenting adults.
Ask them, will you ask them, will you?
I looked at her and she looked at me and
You're my son. I'm your mom.
it's just like the gays. It's just like it's just like the gays.
Ask them, will you ask them, will you
It's just like the gays.
Wow. You know what's so interesting is that we were watching Back to the Future last night, and that is about would you want to date your mom?
It's just like the gays.
It's just like the gays.
I forgot. And then you're watching the movie and you realize he's back in 1955 and his mom is like smitten with him.
Yeah.
And she's just like, oh my God. And she's totally falling for him and she kisses him at one point.
Yeah, it's so hot.
She's trying to bang him. She's like, stop being a bitch.
Yeah.
Get your dick out, you know? And he's like, oh, because he knows it's his mom. But
Lorraine doesn't know.
No.
That's exactly.
I'll make you come.
That's exactly what happened with those two. Is like, didn't she not know?
Well, that's the thing. This is supposed to be something that happens more commonly in psychology. There's a term for this where if people have been separated, like if actual family have been separated for a long period of time, some of the way that the feelings manifest when you reunite can lead to like sexual feelings. That could be like siblings that haven't known each other. And even parents, but you know, it's hot either way. It's hot. It's super hot.
I'm all for dating your mom.
I'm all about it.
Who doesn't know you like your mommy?
Yeah.
You know, that's so cool. Would you date your mom?
No.
Would you jerk off in front of your mom?
No.
What if?
No.
Would you rather?
No. Okay.
Would you rather? Now that we're on the topic, would you rather every time you masturbate, you look deeply into your mother's eyes?
Oof.
Or every time you masturbate, you do it as a live stream event and you like tweet it out. You let the whole world know Tom Segura is masturbating in 5 minutes.
That live stream.
You would live stream your jerks?
Live stream, yeah.
Oh, as opposed to looking in your mom's eyes once.
Yeah, not even a single doubt about it.
Why?
Because you get used to it.
It becomes a cool thing you do.
Well, you know, there'd be shock and awe and people would be like, what are you doing? And then you get used to it. People adapt.
You don't think it would mess with your stand-up career at all?
Maybe people be like, let's go watch that guy do stand-up that we watch jerk off all the time.
Like, do you think you...
Hey, do you know that guy that we always see jerk off? He does stand-up.
Right, like it's a cool surprise when they find out.
There'll be people that discovered me from that first.
And they're like all the news stories pick it up.
Also, I mean, not to toot my own horn, but I think a lot of people would be like, if they knew me just from jerking off, they'd be like, this guy's a pretty proficient stand-up comedian. Like, I'm not like a guy who's like, oh, I also sing, and they go watch me at some bar.
Right,
They'd be like going to an arena and being like, this guy's a pretty good stand-up.
They're legit impressed.
And he comes pretty hard.
Yeah. But I also think that you would get so used to the live jerking that you would do it so fast. You would probably, it would be like, if they don't log in within 10 seconds, you're done.
And people would be like scoring them. They'd be like, you weren't really feeling it today, huh? You look kind of half hard when you came. Or wow, you were really backed up.
Yeah. And also it's like, you're going to be doing it from different hotel rooms.
Yeah.
You're going to have to you're going to do it wherever you're at. Like your bang bus.
Zero question.
Wow.
Okay, so how about for you? Would you rather
Oh my God.
you put a vibrator to your cooch and you have to look into your dad's eyes,
Throw up.
right?
I don't know.
You have to look into his eyes as you
could.
come.
I can't. Just like Back to the Future.
Right. And he has to say, good.
Ew! We didn't say that.
Okay.
That
I just
part.
added a little bit.
Why did you add that?
I don't know.
That was terrible.
I'm just yes-anding.
That was
Now-
terrible.
Okay, so
Well, you didn't bring in. And
he does give you an applause at the end.
I didn't make applause part of your thing
All
with
right.
your mom.
Or do you live stream each of your
Oh
jerks?
my God. I would become asexual. Like it would shut me down.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, guess what? Guess I'm not masturbating anymore.
Yeah.
Guess that ship has sailed.
That is a possibility, I think. Psychologically, I think a lot of people would be like, I guess I don't like sex anymore.
Oh, I don't like masturbating. I could have
Masturbating,
sex
yeah.
with you, but I would never tickle my bean ever again. It would be done. It would be done.
Just to not stream it.
Could you imagine everybody sees it? Your
Yeah.
neighbors, everybody knows. You can't go to fucking HEB without everyone being like, hey, I saw you jerking off. That's so embarrassing. I don't think there's anything as embarrassing as masturbating in front of the masses.
You get used to it. You know why I think you totally get used to it? Because we know adult performers.
Yeah.
And there's like this shock when they start, and then they're just like, yeah, that's what I do. They just get used to it.
But is there anything you'd be embarrassed about then? Like besides masturbating in public?
Well, I'm sure I would be embarrassed by that too. I'm just saying I think you adapt.
But is there another behavior in your repertoire that you would find equally embarrassing as of right now?
masturbating? Masturbating's up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about taking a dump and wiping a lot?
I mean, I'm not excited to show people that. I guess I'd choose that over jerking off.
Oh, 100 times. I would rather take a shit in front of the world 1,000 times over than one masturbate. Yeah. So I don't even know if I could relax enough to masturbate.
Well, do you have to look into the camera? You have to be like,
No. You just have to look like your pathetic, sad self. You know, like Uncle Terry, where Uncle Terry does make
like-
eye contact.
he's like,
Ew.
wow, I was surprised by that one. That's what he does. He's like, didn't realize that was going to feel so good.
Ew. You're right. Like Uncle Terry looks down the barrel when he's looking at you when he comes. That is.
Well, that's the connection he has with his audience. His audience enjoys it.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. I'm trying to think if there's something else I'd be equally embarrassed by. Probably like clipping my toenails. I don't like people watching me do that. I'm embarrassed to do that. Like I've never really done that in front of you. I
No,
don't
you
think.
haven't. No.
Flossing's private. I don't like flossing.
It's not flattering things. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't look
Trimming
cool.
my nose hairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But still masturbating's the top, I would argue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially because you lose yourself in it. Because you're like having to focus. And you're like, and then to see your whole body quiver and your face go.
And everybody is like, good job, Tom.
Yeah.
And idiots are commenting. They're like,
nice load. Yeah.
and then they have to watch you clean it up. That's so demeaning.
Well, and also there's that post nut clarity you get where you're like, what am I doing?
What am I doing?
Yeah.
So embarrassed.
God, why I should be reading something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else but this. It's so embarrassing.
Yeah.
You want to do another would you rather since we're here?
I mean, sure. Go ahead.
Would you rather have a penis attached to your forehead in between your two eyes? A big, big dong.
How big?
Like 6 inch long.
6 inches long?
Yeah.
That means it's hanging like
It's
down to
hanging
over
down.
my nose. Mm-hmm. So I can go like and
You can lick
it.
your own dick.
Okay.
Finally.
Okay.
You can also tuck it up under a beanie. You know what I mean? If you really wanted to be done with it. But it gets erect at inopportune
Oh, my God.
times, and it can ejaculate.
Is it a second penis? Like I still have my own?
Yeah, you still have your own. We're not going to take away the initial guy.
Okay.
But that other penis will get erect. It'll ejaculate on its own sometimes randomly. It'll go flaccid at different times, like a regular penis, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Either you have that or a massive set of G-sized tits. Like 34 G tits. 34 G tits.
What's
Just
wrong with you?
The tits. The tits make me laugh more than the dick.
Yeah.
Because the dick is so absurd that people will be like, oh, is that like prosthetic? Is that a joke?
Yeah.
But the tits, people will be like, oh, poor guy, it's glandular. Or he's transitioning. Isn't that cool? Like you might get...
Isn't that cool?
Because now it's cool to be transitioning. Everybody wants to be the opposite, you know?
By the way, what would you choose as far as masturbating in front of your mom, looking into her eyes, or would you stream it?
I'd stream it for
Stream,
sure.
100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay.
Gotta get that
Everybody.
OnlyFans money.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you can't commodify it. It's got to be for the
Stop.
people. It's just for the people. You tweet it. It's like,
Let us make money in our hypothetical scenario.
it's just for the love.
The love of jerking off in
Yep,
front of an audience.
In front of all the world. Okay, what about the dick or the tits?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, the dick is like, it seems like a mutation, you know? Like, you're going to be shunned more, I think, with that. It says people have, you know, sympathy for you. But it also is very emasculating, you know? You have to find like a really kind woman to be like, it's okay. I still find you attractive. Like, big G-sized tits.
Or you find someone that's into a man who's got penis and tits. It's very rare. I mean, or not so rare nowadays. I don't know.
It'd be tough to find that chick, I think.
Oh, the chick, yeah. There's dudes that are into all of it.
Yeah.
You'd have to be gay.
Yeah, imagine a pig with tits. Exactly.
Yeah. You'd have to be a guy, a gay guy. So you're choosing the tits?
I don't know.
I would choose the dick, I think, because you can hide it under a hat. And then I would take it off at parties just to entertain people and be like, hey, everybody, the dick is here.
Oh, man.
But I would hide it under a beanie most of the other times.
People would really, it would be tough.
I don't know. I think people would really dig it, Tom. I think everyone would want a dick on their forehead after they saw mine.
Titties, eh?
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
Imagine a pig with tits.
that's you.
Yeah. But I'd have to adopt his personality. People are like, what is up with that? I'd be like, I'm a pig with tits.
Yeah. You have to really own it. Be like, I love my G-sized tits, but his are like moderate. They're like B cups when he pumps
They're
them
bigger
a
than
lot.
B.
B plus.
He's flapping them around.
But you're going to have giant, like, big mama tits.
Yeah.
Big, fat fucking milkers,
Yeah.
dude.
Like big, fat, black lady tits.
Yeah. Like bus driver lady black tits. You know, like very specific.
There's no way to hide that.
No.
No.
You have to wear a bra with them, like, and you can't just let them loose under your shirt. And it's kind of a bitch when you're wanting to exercise and stuff. And like, no matter how much weight you lose,
Exercise is out the window.
you'll never lose those tits. That's the crazy part. You'll never lose the tits.
I think it's so emasculating that I choose the dick. I can't believe I'm saying this. I choose a dick on my forehead. A 6-inch dick that I can touch with the tip of my tongue.
You can give yourself dick licks. That'd be nice. That'd
I
be
don't
fun.
want to. I don't want to give myself dick licks.
The kids would love to play with your dickhead.
Oh my God.
Your dick.
The fuck is wrong with you?
They would laugh so hard and slap it around.
Yeah. My dad has a penis on his forehead.
Yeah.
Yeah. The neighborhood kids.
Yeah.
But
Wait a
other
minute.
parents wouldn't be cool with it at all.
I'm such an idiot. I chose the dick, but I've already got giant tits. I'm already halfway there. I should have just stuck with the tits. I changed my answer. Then.
No, you can't change it. You already have it.
No, I don't want the dick.
No, now you got both.
Damn. Fucking idiot.
Yeah, big old Pajitsky effect there.
Stupid. Yeah, I should have thought about it. This is the first Would You Rather where I actually had one half of the thing.
Let's start the show.
God damn it. Such an idiot.
Two Curve models are accusing a local nightclub of fat-shaming them after they were denied entry because of their appearance. Eyewitness News reporter Rob Hayes spoke to the women about their experience and got a response from the nightclub.
Not many women can say they posed for the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition. But Gabriella Halikis can. But being a big success can often mean little when you're big.
This shit is big time!
Who is right?
Don't bring anyone mother into this. Your mom in the fucking stand!
That's terrible.
Welcome to your mom's house with Tom Segura. And
Christina Pajitsin.
welcome to your mom's house.
Meow. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow.
You know, it's so lame how these reporters have to do. But being a big success can mean little when you're big.
Yeah.
They always try to have to be clever.
The copy
with
is
their
terrible. Can we hear how awful that was again?
So bad.
Fire whoever wrote that.
So fucking
And this
bad.
is an LA thing. How dare they?
Yeah.
I expect a little more from Los Angeles local news.
It's fucking...
This episode is sponsored in part by Manscaped. Our friends at Manscaped are helping you clear your driveways for safe travels this holiday season. From stocking stuffers to white elephants, Manscaped's products are at the top of every wish list. Grab some crop mobs for your pops or the body buffer for the holiday lover. Win this year's white elephant gift and help all the men in your life go from eggnog to nice hog this December and save 20% off plus free shipping by going to manscaped.com/mom. Man, I tell you, in addition to this amazing coffee that Manscaped gives us, they're such a good product. And I can't thank them enough for keeping my husband's junk smooth and hair-free and smelling delicious. It really is a fantastic product. Manscaped is a one-stop shop for all your holiday needs. They have the perfect gift in the Platinum Package 4.0, plus loads of little presents, perfect for stocking stuffers. Get your friend a pair of Manscaped boxers, especially made to keep the area cool and provide holiday comfort all year round. Dad has nasty nose hairs? Save his life with the Weed Whacker nose and ear hair trimmer. Manscaped is here to make holiday shopping a blast by giving products the love and make them laugh. Save 20% off and free shipping by going to manscaped.com/mom. That's right, 20% off plus free shipping by going to manscaped.com/mom. Manscaped, for a perfect gift that will be the holiday's biggest hit. We are supported by Ridge. Ridge launched their company with a simple belief that they could make wallets better. 2 Kickstarters, 9 years, and over 2 million wallets later, they're still starting every day with that same mentality. Wallets for too long were designed to hold everything: receipts, gift cards, and anything else you can stuff in there. They turn that on its head with their minimalist first approach to design, so you can carry less and live more. It holds up to 12 cards plus room for cash. There's over 30 colors and styles, including carbon fiber and burnt titanium. And the durable material means each wallet comes with a lifetime warranty. The Ridge team is so confident that you'll like it that they'll let you test drive it for 45 days. You can send it back for a full refund if you don't love it. I know all the boys in the office love their Ridge wallets, and I have to say I find them to be very stylish and efficient. 2 things I love: form and function. Get the best offer by going to ridge.com/mom right now, and you can save up to 40% through December 22nd. That's ridge.com/mom to save up to 40%.
Horrific.
So look at those disgusting skinny models.
Edition. But Gabriella Halikis can. But being a big success can often mean little when you're big.
And they give the camera angle on there, the big fatso angle. It's so good. can mean little when you're big.
It's so bad.
Discrimination and fat phobia goes so deep in society.
Helikas and her friend Alexa McCoy say last week they went to this Hollywood nightclub, the Highlight Room, and ran head-on into a blatant case of fat shaming.
So the promoter starts letting in the whole group of girls, and right when it gets to me at the front, the bouncer puts the rope in front, looks me up and down, and says, "Yeah, not tonight."
And he looked at me and did the same thing up and down and was just like, "Not tonight." Next, like, "Yeah, you guys are good. Yeah, you guys are good." Like, guys came in, girls came in, everyone. And we're just standing there like, is this really happening?
Can I just say one thing? This is not new. This has been done for the last 40 years.
Of course.
This is what nightclubs do, is they try to bring in hot chicks.
Yeah.
And like a couple dudes who are cool. And then everybody else, they're like, nah.
Like, honestly, if you and I were to walk up, they'd be like, get the fuck out of here, oldies.
Get the fuck out of here. You're old.
Yeah.
I tried to take my dad to when I was in Madrid. And I was like 21, decent looking guy. And I would go out to nightclubs and I was like, I go, you've never seen a nightclub in the United States like they have in Europe. I mean, they're wild. It was insane. They're just so much more. I mean, it was the size, it was the scope. It was so much more like sexually open and like, the fucking.
What are they doing there?
It was just like a show, but it's still, and the music was always like that electronic, right? That's
dancing, European music.
But it was a show going to those places. And I was just like, I don't know. We're walking after dinner. I was like, you got to see one of these places. And I tried to get them with me.
Yeah.
To go in, and they were like, no.
Nah, too old.
Yeah. He was in like a dad sweater and khakis.
Of course.
And I was like, can he just take a peek? I was like, can he peek? And the guy was like, no, he can't peek.
Yeah, he'll kill all the boner vibes in there.
They'll be like, what the fuck is this guy doing here?
Yeah.
And then it was fun. My dad's like, what'd he say? And I was like, he said no. And he goes, oh, really? I go, yeah, because you're just not cool.
Aww.
He was like, oh, okay. But he took it in stride,
Yeah, look.
He knew at the time he was probably he was like 55 or something, like he wasn't cool.
Well, and look, private businesses do have a right. I'm trying to make an argument in favor of this business. Do you have a right to say who can come in and who cannot, right? No shoes, no shirt, no service, no fatzos allowed.
That bouncer should be promoted. He did the customers that are in there a favor because they don't want to see that.
No.
They don't want to see the fucking, couple of strongmen competitors walk in. They want to see hotties.
Eyewitness News reached out to the company that owns the Highlight Room. It tells us that the doorman in question has been removed from the door and that the company does not tolerate discrimination of any kind. It adds that Highlight Room representatives had scheduled a meeting with Helikas and McCoy to address the issue, but that the women canceled.
He's been removed from the door and promoted to manager.
Yeah, he is now overseeing all of our operations.
Helikas, who also works as a curve model, says she has seen the fashion world open up to models of all sizes recently. But when it comes to the entertainment world and the rest of society, being big is still a big problem.
I'm a size 14, and that's the most average size for a woman. And yet we're still being treated like, no, can't come in, or I'm not even going to look at you. And, it's dehumanizing.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You just got to take it with like, you got to accept what you are, I mean, I'm serious. It's like maybe the guy telling you can't come in because you're too fat is what you needed to hear to stop being so fat.
Yeah,
like maybe you're going to go,
agree.
you know what? I'm going to fucking go for a jog today.
And can I tell you something? Mark my words. I bet you in the next 5 years, this broad's going to slim down. Because that's what always happens.
She's very pretty.
No, she's gorgeous.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that, what always happens to these ones that are like, I'm fine being this weight. I love my, and then you know what happens? They end up losing a ton of weight.
Right.
They can't do it.
Here's what she's not saying in this thing. She's like, I was born naturally pretty. I have a very pretty face. I have great skin, but I'm not really putting a lot of effort in to managing this weight.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting hired because the whole standard of the modeling industry changed to be super inclusive when it shouldn't be. It should be completely exclusive to people that are super hot.
Well-
and they should X us out for being little piggies.
Yeah.
And the same way, the same way that club said you can't come in is what the modeling industry is supposed to do. They're supposed to be like, oh, you're not a model. A model is a very special person.
Yeah.
And you're
Are
not.
you 5'10"? Do you weigh 90 pounds?
You're
no.
a model.
Get
Yeah.
out of here. So, but I will tell you that the European brands do not welcome plus size. Like I was on the Burberry website. Guess what?
Yeah.
No plus sizes on Burberry.
You know, people,
It's not
whenever we
happening.
talk about this, people always seem
Not
to think
happening.
that we're talking from a position of that we're in the group that's in. I recognize all of my flaws.
Yeah.
And I accept them.
Yeah.
You know, I'm bald. I'm older now. I'm still overweight.
Yeah, you have eye
Like,
bags.
I got
your
eye
teeth
bags.
are yellow.
I mean, I'm just like, I know I'm not a model.
Sometimes you get angry for no reason.
I'm saying I appreciate
Your short temper.
the genetic gifts that a model has. And I also appreciate that I could walk up to a door and be like, hey, I'd like to come in. And they go, no. You're not. And I don't go, I'm going to call the news.
I know. It's so bizarre.
Hey, guess what, news? Somebody told me I was fat. Well, what do you look like? Well, I'm kind of fat. I mean,
I know. There's tons. And by the way, in Los Angeles, it's made up of nothing but exclusive clubs you're not a member of. There are literally places.
that's why I became a comedian. That's what you should be doing, you fucking sow. Go to an open mic. You're not a model. You should be giving fucking talks. Make people laugh.
I know.
I'm just.
Well, no, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying there's a hometown buffet down the road. She can go there and
Yeah.
she's welcome at the buffet.
You
Go.
know what? And the idea that these fucking girls call themselves models.
It's
Jesus
horrible.
Christ. For what? Cracker Barrel? Like
Yeah, you're not hot.
No.
No, I think that I don't think it'll ever be mainstream. Honestly, this stuff. This is
this
the end
era
of it.
right now. Of
Yeah,
they're
it's
like,
silly.
oh yeah, you know,
Silly.
See how this person's got a weird fucking face? They're
I
a
know.
model too, and you're like, no one likes it.
No.
Got big old fucking elephant ears and like
No,
Yeah, you see,
I think it's interesting to look at, but I don't think it's like pretty. It's not beauty. where
but
you're
when
like,
it's
"That's
modeling,
beautiful.
There's one thing that is reprehensible in modeling, though.
Fatties?
Fat.
Yeah.
That is absolutely.
But okay, and that's what makes it so special is because you know how hard it is to weigh that little. Like those chicks work so hard.
And do you know
at
how easy
staying
it is to
thin.
be fat? Like
so easy.
Most people that are struggling with their weight is because it's hard to not be fat.
Of course, especially us, middle age. we
No,
work
but
at
I mean,
it every
but
day.
any age, if you're fat, and you're like, I don't want to be fat. Yeah, I know you got to work at it. You got to work at it. Unless you're genetically gifted, and in which case, if you're super gifted, you're a model.
I know.
You're a fucking model.
And that's the thing is that there's no work in being fat, and that's why I don't honor a fat model. It didn't take any effort for you to be that. It didn't take effort. It didn't take
No.
effort the way Kate Moss smoked cigarettes and lived off of Kleenex and cocaine for 30 years to stay that
You know what
thin.
they should do to these two girls? I mean, I'm honestly saying, I really think
Yeah,
they
let's
should
talk
say,
about it.
welcome, you're allowed to come in here as soon as we close, and you can sweep up, and you can see what the place looks like, but no one's going to be here. And you clean up every day. Like you sweep up all the
puke and the
puke and the
cum.
broken bottles, and
Yeah.
you get to go like, wow, I'd like to be here during open hours. And they're like, yeah, I want you to take the way that feels right now and go to 24-hour fitness.
Yep.
And fucking get on that machine.
Yeah.
And start grinding.
Yeah.
And you do that every day.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, 9 months later, you come back and they go, guess what? Today you're allowed to come when the music's on. You know? And it's like a whole thing. It's a beautiful story.
I
Yeah.
agree, Tom.
Yeah.
I like this very much.
Yeah, start smoking.
Start smoking, like do what Kate Moss did. Get hot and skinny.
Smoking cigarettes, by the way, is a fantastic thing to do.
I've talked about this on Where My Mom's At. I just did a monologue on how much I loved smoking.
Oh, yeah.
I smoked for 17 years. I was the skinniest I've ever been. It helped with my nerves and anxiety.
And the thing is, you got to start
Kept me
young.
thin.
You got to start young. I don't know how old these girls are,
Yeah.
but I would get into it right away.
13.
Yeah.
That's when I started.
And if you're chunky and you're 13, start doing a pack a day.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, look, the truth of it is there are exclusive places in Los Angeles that you will be excluded from because it's a major city and there's major people and it's a fucking city of exclusion, dude. That's the whole point.
I actually took.
God, shut
I
up,
took-
crybaby bitches.
I took I learned something from the way that place in Madrid rejected my father. They were just like, no way. And the way that he accepted it, that was a lesson.
Yeah.
He just was like, oh yeah.
You take it and you roll on. All right. No, I'm sick of talking about these fatzos. I have another important piece of news I'd
Okay,
like to share
please.
with you. On one of my morning walks to not be a model. I'm
Yeah.
trying not to be a model. I'm trying
Yeah.
to be a norm,
Yeah.
I was walking around the neighborhood and I saw one of these disgusting little creatures in Texas called armadillos.
Yeah.
There's like the national animal or
Yeah.
whatever, right? The state's animal. And I said to myself, I was like, you know what? These animals are ugly and they're named stupid. I think to make them popular and get them some respect, we should rename them
What would you rename them?
armadillos. And that way you make them fun and people want to talk about them and then they'll be more loved. Wouldn't you rather talk about an armadillo than an armadillo?
I mean, sure. I saw an armadillo today. This really tickles you.
Yeah. I'm going to start calling them armadillos and I'm going to teach our children to call them armadillos.
Okay. You're going to teach the kids?
Yeah.
They already say all kinds of shit wrong.
I know. I just think it'll be silly to start calling them armadillos.
Okay.
I like that word.
I could tell you do.
I think we should petition Texas to rename the animal armadillo.
Armadillo. All right. This is fun. You want to see something fun?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like a couple weeks ago, Bart, that Hitler guy, Kressler,
Yes.
he released his trailer, his teaser trailer.
Okay.
It's one of the best received trailers I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh.
People,
I'm so excited.
I've seen people go, I hate Bert, but I want to see this movie.
Well, that's kind
Which I don't
of
think
nice.
you can get a better response than that. So people are all excited about this movie coming out.
Jeans. Hey everyone, have you seen the red band trailer for the upcoming comedy The Machine? It stars Brett Kressler and Mark Hamill.
I saw this the other
you
day.
posted, but I didn't see it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either.
I watched it and I'm like, is this real?
It's real.
It's real.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, did somebody make this? And I think the director tweeted to me the trailer, and I wasn't familiar. I'm like, I looked at it and I couldn't. It looks like a legit film, but I'm like, what is this? I don't know anything because I have another movie called The Machine in my collection. That's
Yeah,
not
then there's
this.
The Machinist, which is a totally different.
Yeah, I have
movie.
that too.
But apparently, it's like it's a movie based on a true story that is Brett's like main joke that he tells in all of his comedy shows
Yes.
or something.
It never gets old. It never gets old.
Yeah.
So exciting.
He like even makes a movie and still doesn't get the respect of his real name. That's the best part.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It's a major studio release.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I like that though.
In this one clip, they called him Brent and Brett.
I know. It just goes to show it doesn't matter.
Doesn't
Nothing
matter.
matters. You can be number one and you're still a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Show business. Wow.
Speaking
Well,
of movies, Tarantino was here the other day.
I heard.
Yeah.
And
It's pretty exciting.
that's a major get.
Big get.
Talking to Quentin Tarantino. I love his movies.
He busted my chops hard though at the
He
end.
did. What did he say?
He was like, "Thanks for not reading the book," and I was like, "I mean, I tried."
He said
I was
that?
like, "No, I'm reading." He goes, "What page are you on?" And I told him I got the audiobook. He goes, "Oh, that's that's not a cool thing to tell someone." I'm like,
Why?
Well, he doesn't know. I mean, I was trying to tell him that before he came on, I get the message from his agent being like, "Hey, the book's coming out. I don't know if we can get you an advance copy."
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, "Okay." And then they're like, "You might be able to get the audiobook now." So I got the audiobook. I started listening to it, But dude, it's the week that like, shooting my special the weekend before. I come home from that. It's the first time I've been home in like fucking months. I'm like kind of reorganizing my life, and I only got through a little bit of it. It's one of those things. But I was so excited to talk to him that I wasn't even focused on the book. Of course, he wants to talk about his book.
Yeah.
So we end up doing this like hour and a half podcast. And at the end, he's like, "Thanks for not bringing up the book." And I was like, "Fuck." Yeah. And then he's like, "And you didn't talk about my podcast." I was like, "I didn't even know you had a podcast."
But can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I would much rather listen to that podcast than, when someone drones on and on about their new thing no one cares about. It's probably going to get more traction for his book, honestly. Because then I'll be like, oh, I want to read it.
Yeah.
Because he didn't tell me everything.
I mean, I think it went well, right? It went well.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it, Tom. It went really great.
All right.
It was awesome.
I was super nervous about it.
Really?
Well, not like during the moment, sometimes at the end, at the end when you do these things, sometimes you're like, I don't know how that went because you're in it.
Yeah.
So I just don't know how it went.
I'm sure you did great. You're a great interviewer. You're a great listener.
But I was asking him genuine. I got, I think we got like 3 never before told stories kind of.
It's so exciting.
It was pretty exciting. Yeah.
I love his movies. The
Oh
guy
my God.
really, you know what, Tom? I'm going to go out on a limb and say he's a great movie maker, that guy.
He let me know he was.
He doesn't have to.
It was pretty crazy.
He did?
Yeah, I kind of really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm doing it at the highest level.
He really is,
And
though.
I was like, no, I know. He goes, no. He's like, here.
He's like, I
was like, I got it.
He's from L.A. He grew up in L.A.
Yeah, well, it was really interesting because he's doing that same thing. It reminded me of Seinfeld that, for people that don't know, Seinfeld did 9 seasons of his show. And he purposely went out when he won it after the 9th. He had a thing about the number 9. But the show was number 1, okay? The show's number 1. And he goes, that's it. We're done. And the reason was, he's like, I want the show to be over when it's still a killer show.
Of course, yeah.
I don't want to get into seasons 10, 11, 12, 13 where we're collecting checks and this show just starts to like fall apart. Tarantino was like, I want to be I still want you to be like, holy shit, this catalog of movies, this filmography is, and not, keep making movies and people are like, oh, I remember when, man, he had this one era that was great. I was
Yes,
like,
you want to go out in glory.
he's like, so I just want it to be, he's going to do one more movie. That's it.
Oh.
Doesn't even have the idea for it yet, but he's like, I'm just going to do one more.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you think it'll be about fat models and armadillos?
I don't know. I hope
Maybe
so.
putting a dick on your forehead, growing some tits. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Be the best gift giver you can be this holiday season with Dash Pass. It's the membership that keeps on giving even after the holidays are over. Unlock savings on their favorite items from thousands of local restaurants and stores near and dear to them for less. With the Dash Pass membership, they'll be able to unlock access to thousands of their local grocery, convenience, and retail store items right from their fingertips for less. Now through December 16th, save 50% per month when you buy a Dash Pass annual membership for only $59 for the first year. I mean, what a fantastic gift for anybody in your life, really. I mean, who doesn't love DoorDash? Give it as a gift. For a limited time, our listeners can also enjoy a gift for themselves with 50% off, up to a $20 value and $0 delivery fees when you download the DoorDash app and enter code HOUSE. That's 50% off, up to a $20 value and $0 delivery fees when you download the DoorDash app in any app store and enter code HOUSE. Don't forget, that's code HOUSE for 50% off, up to a $20 value and $0 delivery fees with DoorDash. Subject to change. Terms apply. The only thing better than football Sundays is football Sundays with DraftKings Sportsbook. I'm excited to be partnering with DraftKings, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, to share an unbelievable deal with all new customers. Want to win $150 in free bets? All new customers have to do is sign up for DraftKings using my promo code MOM. Bet at least $5 on any pregame moneyline wager, and if your bet hits, $150 in free bets is yours. You heard right. That's an additional $150 in free bets if your pregame moneyline wager of $5 or more hits. Want to up the stakes even more? Try out Same Game Parlays, where you can combine multiple bets from one game, like which team will win and by how much, for a shot at even bigger winnings. If mobile sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still get in on the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy and DraftKings Rainmakers. All right, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use promo code MOM, bet $5 on any pregame moneyline bet, and get $150 in free bets if your bet wins. That's promo code MOM, only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Well, it's really interesting. I can't wait to hear it.
It's cool.
He's got a very interesting look. I like his face. I like looking at him.
He's a very interesting looking guy.
Yeah.
Interesting mannerisms.
Yes.
Way of speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell you're talking to like a very unique individual.
Very unique individual.
Yeah.
It has been nice having you back, Gene.
Yeah, it's nice to be back.
You've been gone for so long. You've been touring for what, 15 months now?
I'm a road dog. Yeah,
You've been gone too long.
Gone for a while.
Too long, Gene. What's been your favorite part about being home?
I mean, just the nice routineness of it all.
Yeah.
Kind of nice.
Taking a shit on your own toilet.
Yeah, just being home. Just being home.
Yeah.
Seeing the little dudes, playing with them.
Yeah.
They fuck me up every night.
Oh my God.
Punch, kick, knees to the back. They just beat the ever-loving shit out of me.
Dude, I don't
And
even...
as soon as I pin them down, they're like, "You're hurting me." And I'm like, "You're fucking hurting me, dude."
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just hurt.
Yeah.
I don't even think I told you this, but you were gone. I haven't told you this because I didn't want to make you, or maybe I did.
Oh,
anyway, I let them fuck around one day. I was too tired to even deal with it. And I hear them having a good time. And I was like, ah, shit, what did you fuckers do? Sure enough, I look up, there's banana in the chandelier, banana up on the front entryway. And I'm talking like 20, you know, we have high ceilings, Texas ceilings. And I'm like, there's fucking banana in my entryway. Are you out of your minds? I got so mad at them. Well, guess what? I was like, how can I get rid of this? Someone had to come out and they're like, okay, we're going to clean the banana, but it's going to ruin the paint. So we have to repaint the entryway. They're going to do it while we're gone. They fucked up. Fucking banana on my chandelier. Banana.
Do you know what I did
banana.
today? This I didn't do this on
Fuckers,
They did that on
dude.
purpose. You know what I did on accident today?
What?
I made myself a protein shake.
Yeah.
I put it on the passenger seat. I'm driving. It opens. I don't realize it.
Oh, shit,
The
bro.
entire shake.
Fuck.
The entire shake.
Fuck, dude.
So I'm just like, I'm turning at one point and I just see a pool. And I'm like,
fuck.
So I went back home, got a bunch of towels, sopped it up, tried to clean. And then I looked behind the seat. There's a pool behind the seat. Now it just smells like chocolate protein in our.
It's so upsetting. It's so upsetting when you do that. Spilling shake is the fucking worst.
It was the worst. Just
Do-
an open lid.
Do you remember when I wore a white sweater the other day?
Yeah.
And you were like, you look nice, Gene. I'm like, I know I haven't worn a white sweater in 6 years
He went
because
to
of
fuck
our
that up
children.
right away.
Right away, our youngest was like, put his dirty hand on it. I'm like, you fucker, dude.
Yeah.
So awful.
Yeah.
Did I tell you that one time I spilled nail polish remover on my vag? Did I tell you this?
What?
I've told you this, haven't I? One time I was sitting on the toilet as a teenager and I had the nail polish remover bottle in between my legs, like in between my leg fat, you know, and I was taking a piss or shit. I think I was shitting. And I'm like, just cleaning nail polish remover off my nails. And the fucking bottle, dude, tips forward and spills nail polish remover all over my vag.
How's that feel?
Burned so bad.
Ooh.
So, get away.
It's kind of hot.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah, I panicked. I ran in the shower and I was like, I just burned my vag off. It's pretty cool. Didn't burn off, but don't do that, okay?
Don't do it, guys. You heard it here first.
Don't do it. It's bad.
All right, let's take a quick break.
Okay, bye.
And we're back, and joining us for the first time is my friend from Canada, the country of Canada. The great Phil Hanley is here, everybody.
Phil? Thank you.
And he has a new special called Ooh La La. It's out on his YouTube channel right now. Congratulations on that.
Oh, thank you.
How was that? Where'd you film it?
At the Comedy Cellar at the Village Underground.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, but I changed it. I put it looks very different.
You did a whole set design.
Very expensive set design, yeah.
Isn't that fun?
That I paid for.
How much money you can spend on things like that?
It's insane. I told them what I wanted, and then they're like, yeah, we're making it. And then, it was like almost $6,000.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
geez.
crazy.
Yeah, it was a lot.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
What part of Canada are you from?
I'm from Ontario, but I started.
Hey.
Are you from?
I was born in Windsor, Ontario.
Are you serious?
eh? Yeah.
Really? Wow. Windsor is the place that Americans they're always like, oh, I've been to Windsor. And I'm like, it's not really the heart of Canada. But then I started comedy in Vancouver, and that's where I met Tom.
We worked together. We worked at the Mix. This is back in Phil's sweater vest days.
Yeah.
There's always a nice sweater vest on.
I did cashmere. I don't want to make a big deal
Yeah,
about
man,
it.
it was always like, I feel like he would be like, I'm not ready to get on stage yet, and then he would put it on and be like, now I'm ready, and it would be sweaters.
Yeah, I did that until I moved to New York, and then I would be doing like cellar spots in the summer, and you'd be running around the block, and it would be so hot. Then I started wearing a t-shirt.
I mean, you did it, dude. I mean, it's not easy to move from Canada to New York, and really break in and do the spots and like get like you're in.
Well, yeah, thanks, man. Like, it's wild. Like, when I started comedy, I watched that Seinfeld documentary, Comedian, and it would be Seinfeld and Colin Quinn like hanging out in New York. I was like, I got to do it. But Vancouver is so far. There's so many shitty gigs in between Vancouver and New York City. But yeah, and then you got to get like visas and green card and all that stuff.
I mean, that's real perseverance, though.
Yeah, I guess. I just kept trying. Like, I would do all these gigs in Canada trying to get, letters to get the green card and stuff like that.
Well, the thing that I noticed, because I we worked together a few times. I mean, we definitely ran into in Vancouver a few times, is how much you've evolved on stage. Because I see clips of you constantly on Instagram.
Okay.
And you're like just this totally like different guy now. I mean, from what I knew.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, you're so much. I mean, you should be if you're good.
Yeah.
Because you're so much more poised and relaxed, and your style is so much more conversational. Like you grew like as a comedian.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. We met each other so long ago that I remember one of the last conversations we had, or a conversation we had at the Mixes, you were talking about trying to get into the improvs.
Oh my God.
That's how long ago. I remember we were standing in the lobby and you were talking about like trying to get in there.
So that, I mean, I remember that I first played the Mix in 2009, and and then I was probably trying to, I remember getting some of those gigs probably, I don't know, a year or so later. So that makes sense.
Yeah. And I was about to do Craig Ferguson for the first time, and I was freaking out. And you put me in touch with Ryan, because Ryan had just done Craig Ferguson. And we call it you. Yeah. So it was really nice.
Yeah. I'm glad, man. Yeah. I mean, I'm glad to see, I mean, and I mean, I don't know. I just feel like it is, I really respect coming from Canada, going to LA or New York, but just going to another country and trying to break into that system. I just feel like it's probably intimidating as shit.
Hard.
Yeah, it's weird. Thank you for saying that. I don't think people realize what a pain in the end. Like, so you're like 6 years into comedy. I saved up all my money. Then you got to get a lawyer. Then you get like work papers, and they last for 3 years. Then you got to get more work papers. Then you got to like roll the dice with a green card. Yeah, I've had a lot of roommates.
And then how about the actual comics? Like, was it pretty standard? Were people cool to you right away? No,
like I remember when I first moved to New York, and I had done like a couple things on American television and stuff like that. And I remember I had one name. I knew Rory Scovel and Vince Averill were the only two dudes I knew. And I went to, someone recommended me to this, like, basically an open mic, but they told me it was a show. I go down, there's 5 people in like some like basement in the East Village. And I say to the guy, I'm like, hey, so-and-so said I'd come in, and I just, love to do a spot sometime. Even though I'm looking at this, I'm like, this is the worst show I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And I go, yeah, I'd love to do a spot sometime. And he goes, yeah, send me a tape.
No.
Yeah. I'm like, fuck, this is going to be
brutal. What year is this?
Yeah. This would be probably just after we met, like probably maybe like 2000 and like 10 or something like that.
And that's when you went to New York?
Yeah, like I've been in New York around 10 years now. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. It was long. Yeah.
Wow. So you're like a New York. Do you love New York?
I do. Yeah, I do love New York. Yeah. I love New York. I wish it was close, like so far from Vancouver. Like it's so far from my family, but
yeah, I love going to Vancouver still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's great.
I had great memories, dude.
That club's not there anymore though, which is a bummer.
Such a bummer.
I know. It was one of the best clubs.
And it was also like it had like this almost like you felt because I would play it. You know, I'm visiting and it's a long week. The gig was not like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It was like Tuesday through Saturday.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, yeah.
So you felt like they were like your family.
Absolutely,
you know?
by the end.
Yeah, the club.
Yeah,
I loved being there.
Actually, you know what? The last time I think I saw you was I was headlining the mix. So it was years after that, and you were there. There was like one UFC event in Vancouver, and you were there
with Joe. Probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember there was a dude. There was like some weird. There was like a crazy guy in the front. It was. He went on. I was like, yeah, I'll go before Joe Rogan, please. And so he closed the show, and there was this insane guy in the front, and he like was arguing with Rogan, and then like motioned that he was gonna like headbutt him or something like that. And then the doorman dragged him out. Do you remember this at all? As he was picking the guy up out of his seat, the guy grabbed the table, so all the bottles flew and all that shit. And then like we hung out afterwards. It's like an hour and a half later. I'm like leaving to go home, walk back to my parents' place. I'm walking up the stairs and I see the guy and he's like coming towards me. And I'm like, fuck, why am I by myself? His neck is all red from being removed from the club. And I open the door and I'm like, oh shit. And he goes, hey man, great set. And I'm like, oh Jesus, okay. Yeah. But he was all red.
Do you know what I remember from that place? There was okay, you guys will have to bleep this. But there was a there who loved me, and like when I would come there, this dude was like a puppy to me. Like he was like hey Tom, like what do you need, you know? And I would always just be like, oh, you know, just have my back if I need it.
Yeah.
You know? And he loved if I needed his help. And so one time, you know, somebody is, you know, just ruining the show.
Yeah.
Like shut the fuck up, man. And it's like back and forth. And so finally, you know, you kind of go back and forth in those things. And then there's those moments where you're like, you got to go.
Yeah.
Right? So I see that dude come in and he actually he's a big guy. He's a wide built, strong dude.
Yeah. I know.
And he picks him up by his head. Like, he puts his arm around the guy's head and he lifts him out of the chair by his head. So
my gosh.
He head cranks him like hard as fuck.
Jeez.
And drags him out by his head. And I remember even being like, holy shit. Right? Like he drags him out that way. And I was like, afterwards, I was like, how'd that go? He was like, oh yeah, I got him out. I'm like, yeah, it looked like it. I'm like, I don't know if that guy's gonna be able to walk anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I don't play the club for like a cycle, you know, like a year or something. And I come back and I'm in the lobby and I'm like, what's this here? And I notice that there's missing carpet.
No.
And they're like,
oh no.
Oh, you know that dude? And I go, yeah. And they're like, he took some guy, he dragged some guy out and he beat him here. And the blood soaked into the carpet here. We had to cut the carpet out. And I was like, what?
Dang.
And they're like, yeah, we had to.
Yeah. He was suspended for a weekend.
We had to let him go.
Yeah. See, and people wonder why there are no more women in comedy. It's because of shit like that. Like Tom and I were at a really big show like a week ago. And even at like a huge venue, there's like drunk people.
It was a totally different. I haven't been to a show in forever.
Out. Like, what the fuck is wrong with it? I know. It was a Chris Rock show.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh my God, like even at like a nice venue.
Been in the audience in forever. Like where I go to watch a comic.
Yeah.
And we're sitting there. Yeah. Like, and you're like,
what the fuck are you screaming?
I mean, just continuous. And then I actually, because you know a lot of times on stage you go, well, that person is ruining the show for the people around them.
Yeah.
Dude, you see the people go, can you guys knock it off? Like they keep doing it. Like, and then they get up and they go get security, the sober people, and go, I can't fucking hear the show. Then they get removed. Police come.
Whoa.
It's a whole thing, man.
Wow.
Drunks.
Just for these drunk fuck.
and that's Chris Rock. That's at like
the highest level show.
Is it 60 years you need to get respect? Like it's insane. How long do you have to be?
It's crazy.
And people pay a premium. This is a nice venue.
Yeah.
This isn't like the Chuckle Hut.
Then
And
there's
fucking,
the-
and then the people sitting next to
That's
us.
what I'm saying. Like they just do this thing where he hits a topic that they agree with him.
They're just excited to hear about.
So every 8 seconds, as he's doing, so he's doing the bit, he makes his statement. Now it's like joke. Yeah, tell him.
Or
yeah, yes, and you're like,
or
what?
boo. No, I don't agree with that. Like,
no one cares what you agree
Yeah.
with and what you don't. No one cares what you have to say.
I never had this perspective.
It's wild.
Like and it made you go like, because I've always thought this, that like the worst thing in the world, that what ruins every show is just booze.
Yeah,
booze ruins
too much.
every
Yeah.
fucking, and these people are just fucking shit.
Well, how do we deal with these maniacs? Like, but you can tell when they're that ripped going in.
I can tell. My new rule is if you heckle me before the mic comes out of the stand, you're gone.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be a nightmare. I've learned
Yeah.
that over the years. And I did that 2 weeks ago. I was in San Diego and I walked on stage. I didn't take the mic out. And a guy yells, "Lame." I hadn't even, the music is dying out. Lame. And I go, you got to leave, man. Like, but the mic was still in the stand. I'm like, he's got to go.
Done.
So they kick him out. And then they leave his girlfriend or wife, who now is a little bitter towards me.
Sure.
And she starts yelling, "He was only joking."
Oh God.
You got to go too.
Gotta go.
Yeah. Bang.
Gotta go.
Gone.
Yeah, gone.
With the mic's not even out?
I've had two crazy ones in the last month.
Oh yeah.
One was, we have the video of the guy being thrown out. It was in Canada, the first one.
Where?
It was in London.
Oh, okay.
It was the Late Show. So we did 2 shows there. And we could tell because when the opener's on, you're like, oh, this guy keeps yelling. They're trying to find where he is because it's just like theater venue. And they're like, we don't know where he is. And so my tour manager has a good idea. He goes, you know what I'm going to do? He goes, when you go on stage, they turn on the house lights. He goes, I'm going to leave the house lights on for like 5 more seconds. Just because I know he's going to pop off.
Good instinct.
It was good instinct. And so when I walk out, lights come on, wave, grab the mic, and as he fucking, and they go, that's where he is. So they start going over there. Now, I'm not even paying attention to him, right? I mean, I have to say something because he says something again, so I'm just, I forget what I say.
Yeah.
I just kind of jab him back, but it's like playful.
Yeah.
And then I keep going the show, and he does something again. So I just make another comment about how much fucking attention do you need?
Yeah.
And then like chaos starts.
Whoa.
And then he's screaming something, and then somebody from that area goes, "You're throwing out the wrong guy." And I go,
no.
I go, "I'm not throwing anybody out." Like that, there's literally a wall of security up there.
Yeah.
I'm like, you have to deal with them.
Yeah.
This is not on me now. Guy keeps screaming. Well, my guys end up recording them throwing this guy out, right? And he's throwing a fucking tantrum. And what he's mad about is that the guy who was causing the big disturbance was another guy's brother. And they ended up throwing them both out. And the one guy's like, he's a good guy. He keeps saying he. And we think that he's talking about himself. Like,
Yeah.
is he referring to himself
Yeah.
as he?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, he goes, he's a good guy. You're throwing him, he's not a bad guy. You're throwing out a nice guy. And we're like, dude, he's ruining the show
Yeah.
for everybody. I mean, it just happens to the point, and it just makes you, I don't know, after a while, you're just like, the fuck do you have to do up here? Just shut the fuck up.
And it's not, he's a nice guy, whatever. He's
Who
not in a
cares?
place where he can sit and watch comedy.
He can't.
So then this is not for him tonight.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's so sad. But I wanted to bring up, you are writing a book, a memoir.
Yeah. Yeah. I read your book, Tom. It was great.
Thank you.
Yeah. It was really, but
Appreciate
you got
it.
to write essays. I wanted to write a book of essays, and then we kind of sold it and stuff. And then they said, yeah, it's going to be a memoir. And I'm like, oh boy. But yeah, it's about dyslexia. So I'm dyslexic. So it's quite an endeavor. But
Yeah, to be someone with dyslexia to write a book, how fantastic.
Yeah, but it's the positive. Like if I wasn't dyslexic, I wouldn't be here talking to you guys. I wouldn't be doing comedy. I wouldn't be. So it's the positive. The first couple chapters while I'm in school is a little grim, but then it's a positive outlook on like I'm basically grateful to be dyslexic because I wouldn't have the life that I have now if it wasn't for
Why
dyslexia.
do you say that? Why do you feel that way?
Well, because I just think that if I wasn't dyslexic, I would have done what all my friends did. I would have gone through high school. A lot of them went to the same college in Canada, and then I would have. I'm from a really small. I'm basically from Windsor, only on the other side.
Okay.
It's called Oshawa. It's like a mini kind of Detroit.
Auschwitz?
Yes, similar place.
Oshawa?
Yeah, Oshawa. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just think I just would have done a regular route. It wouldn't have crossed my mind to like, because they went to college, and then I applied for a job at the convenience store across from my high school, which would have proved all the teachers right when they were like, yeah, you're really not going to do anything. And then I moved to Europe. They went to college. I moved to Europe, and I don't know if I modeled in Europe for like 4 years.
What?
Yes. They went to college, and then
You modeled in Europe?
Yes, and that led me
Europe?
to comedy. Yeah.
How did modeling lead to?
Yeah, what?
Well, because I was really embarrassed. Like there was a time. There was a brief moment in time where I was really skinny. I think I weighed like 120 pounds. I had
As
long-
you should to be a model.
Yeah, well, at the time, but male models are supposed to look like male models, right?
Yeah.
So there was a brief period where they wanted kind of like druggy looking people, like the heroin chic thing.
Yeah.
And
you
so-
fit that.
Yeah, they were like, I have a joke in my special where I said they were looking for guys that look like they do drugs. I'm like, I can do you one better. Like I was like fully trained, fully high. And I modeled for 4 years. And
Wait,
then,
but tell us,
Can we have pictures? Can we Google these photos?
I can show you pictures afterwards, or I can show you
Send
pictures
them
of
in.
my phone.
Wait, what is it like to be? Where are you living when you moved?
I lived in Milan. You're supposed to live in Milan when you start.
God.
But
Who are you, Phil Hanley?
you're supposed to live in Milan, but I liked London a lot better. So I was based. No, those are all stand-up pictures.
Yeah.
Those are there's nothing on. There's no modeling pictures, but I can show you. I can send you one.
Okay.
Is that you on the runway?
That was just photoshopped from.
Okay.
But wait, that
really
top
funny.
left one there.
I mean,
yeah, no, that's stand-up acting.
Yeah, but that's pretty close to your
That's
modeling
still
days.
left.
Modeling.
That's my first comedy special I did in Canada. Way too soon. I shouldn't have done it, but it's kind of a Rick Springfield thing I got going on. I got that sweater vest that you like.
I told you, dude. So wait a minute. You go to Milan.
Yeah.
And I mean, you don't know what the fuck you're doing,
Dude,
right?
I know. I knew nothing, and I knew the only reason I was there was because I couldn't fucking read. And my parents were just like, they were worried I was going to stay in my hometown, so they're like, "Yeah, that sounds great, dear. Go to."
So
do
you show
drugs
up in
Europe."
Milan, and did you just sleep on couches? Because you don't
Yeah, how
don't
do you
get
know what to
paid
do or where
as
to
a
go?
model.
You don't. Well, okay. So what happened was I was in New York visiting a friend who was a model, and like she was extremely successful. And through her, I met people that were like, "Oh, you should model." And I really had nothing else going on, so I was like, "Okay." So the first thing you do is you go to Milan for like the fashion shows, and I went, and it was like heroin chic was a thing, but it hadn't really caught on fully. So I was like the only skinny dude with long hair in Italy.
Everyone's all buff.
Everyone's buff. And I would go on these castings and the clothes were too big. And I just looked like it was like I was surrounded by everyone I didn't like in high school. And and we know you live in like a modeling like residence.
Wow.
Yes. And then so
Wait.
you go to these auditions, you walk around for like 13 hours a day, like showing your book, and these like, Valentino looks at your book and is like, "Thank you," type thing.
And I heard that you don't get actual money; that you just get to keep the clothes for runway.
You get money, but there would be some jobs, like smaller, like up and coming designers would.
Did you ever book a big one? Like, did you ever get one where you're like, "Oh, I got a fucking amazing one today"?
Yeah, well, yeah, I did. So the first year, everything didn't fit. I was like super bummed. All the other guys actually looked like models, like were like ripped, and then I booked Armani.
Wow.
Yes, and it was like I remember coming to my agency and the agent who kind of booked me just because it felt like he heard that like this was the new trend or whatever, but he was more attracted to he was like a gay dude. He was way more. He's like measuring the other guys and stuff like that. With me, he'd just be like, "Ah, Bella," and nothing. So I book Armani, and I'm like the toast of the agency in the morning. I go to Armani, I get there, I'm like couldn't read, terrible at sports. This was like, felt like, okay, I finally found something that I could do. I get to Armani. It's the day before the show. You go in. It's like his compound. It's like all marble and beautiful. And go put on the clothes. The clothes were so fucking big. It's like when you're a kid and you're trying your dad's suit jacket.
No.
Dude, I was like horrified. So I'm backstage. They have like a dresser for you. She's like this fashion student. I could see like her pupils are huge. She's like never seen this before. First outfit, gray suit, mesh tank top. It's like hanging down. Like it looked so comical. The sunglasses felt big. They send me out to walk down the runway, and I turn down, and it's Armani and all his like assistants and stuff. There's like 12 people. And I know, I'm like holding my pants up. I know this is not going to fly. They start laughing as I'm walking down. I'm standing there. They're like telling jokes in Italian. I'm like, oh, this is the worst. I go backstage. I'm like, they're just going to send me home. And, you know, they go, outfit 2. The woman, the dresser goes, outfit 2. I had to do that 6 times. All the shit, did nothing fit. So they fired me. I was so bummed. Yeah.
It's not your fucking fault.
No, it's not my, well, I kind of lied about my sizes on my composite card. Just to, like, I thought I'd exaggerate a little bit to be like kind of model size, and it backfired. But so I didn't get it. But then the next season I did, like I ended up getting to do Armani a bunch of times.
That's pretty cool.
Afterwards, because they kind of, the clothes started fitting or whatever.
How does a modeling stint like that? Because you're young, I assume, when you go, right? You're super young.
Yeah, I was like 19 or something.
So
like
how
that.
does it end? Like, how do you go? I'm not doing this anymore.
See, I like was so embarrassed the whole time. Like even when I was like working or doing like big shows, or like I did like Armani and Dolce & Gabbana. Like I did do big shows, but I was like, this is weird. Like I wasn't super comfortable. Like I went from like swimming with a t-shirt on at a pool party to being a model. Like I was not comfortable. But then I would meet all these people like designers and photographers. You'd meet a photographer. He's like, yeah, I got my first camera when I was 5. This has been my dream my whole life to shoot fashion. And I was like, fuck, I want to do something that I, am like passionate about. And I booked a commercial. I booked this like Pontiac commercial, and like Sylvester Stallone was like the voice, and it paid well. It was like a big ad. And I got that money. I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to run with this dough. So I moved home after that. I booked like a big job and then moved home and then started, I took some improv classes and then started stand-up.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah.
I think you might be the first runway model turned comic I've ever heard of.
Yeah, this is
runway model. That's really impressive. And did you have to learn how to do like a sassy walk?
I was so bad. No, because I was like, I mean, I guess I was like, okay.
There's a few too now that like you can see like these real handsome dudes or like real pretty girls.
Yeah.
That are, and you'll see them like on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like on stage.
Yeah,
like I'm saying like exceptionally good looking.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh man, this is. You got your gift. It's not this.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Too hot.
Like I never, like no one ever suspected that I was a model. It's based on the shock on both of your faces when it came out.
No, because your beard, I can't even see your face.
You can tell you're a good looking dude.
Yeah.
I mean, model though is something like, well, and also, in today's world, you can be fucking, you can be missing a fucking ear and be 280 pounds. And people are like, yeah, look at this model. She's on the cover of Victoria's Secret thing. Like,
No, there was a brief period and I just fit it that time very well because I had long hair and I was like super skinny.
Wow.
Perfect.
So cool. Did you ever get like some really top tier modeling puss? Like,
well, there's a chapter in my book called Top Tier Modeling Puss.
Really?
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. No.
I mean, it feels like as a model.
Well, no, like generally, like models would date like musicians and like athletes and stuff.
Right.
I guess I had a couple fun evenings, but like nothing.
Yeah.
Insane. I lived in so you're supposed to either live in Milan or Paris, and I loved London, so I lived in London, and just kind of all my friends weren't fashion people.
Really?
Yeah.
He turned into a comic. It's crazy.
Very crazy.
You know what happened? I took an improv class after that commercial, and I got the first time I made the class laugh, and it was in this like weird British church basement. Made the class laugh, and I was like, "Holy fuck! This feels like just like making my friends laugh." Did you have that moment where you're like, this feels the same as making my friends or my family laugh at the dinner table or whatever?
It's the best.
Yes. I thought making people laugh only felt good if you knew them. But it feels good if they're, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
strangers.
It's the feeling is unlike any other.
Yeah.
That's when you know it's a calling, though, right? It's like if you get that in a public setting and you're like, you're locked in. You're like, oh, I can't let this go.
Yeah, it was such a eureka moment. I was like, fuck, this just feels the same way.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember doing improv and like innately, being decent at it and then loving it and then being like, this is so fucking corny. Like I remember being like, I wish I could just say stuff I want to say because there's too many rules.
Yeah.
And then you go out on your own and you say some crazy shit. And then that gets addicting where you're like, I can just be an asshole and I get rewarded. This is fucking great, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the greatest.
It is the greatest.
Just so I know we already said it, but I want to remind people, you shot the special, you put it on YouTube. I've been the biggest advocate of this movement.
Yeah.
Of comics putting the specials up. I think it's a brilliant thing to do. Like to put your special in. Everyone has YouTube. Everyone can access YouTube.
Yeah.
Everybody, I mean, there's no reason not to do this.
No, and it feels empowering because you like when I started, that wasn't a thing, and you just sit and you hope that some booker from a festival likes you.
It's the worst.
Yeah, and if they don't have the same taste, in your comedy,
and they're just some fucking guy.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. And so it does feel empowering to be able to just do it and put it up yourself, and then know. You're not like working on an hour thinking, God, I hope someone buys this. You're like, well, I'll just do it again then.
Yeah.
You know?
Just keep doing it.
You can do it forever. You can build a fucking catalog of specials.
Yeah.
It's fucking rad.
So fucking rad.
And you've been putting clips up of your stand-up.
Yeah, I've been trying to post a lot of clips.
That's great. I mean, you're good. That's why it's great.
Oh, thank you.
Well, because it's not so great when some people do it.
No.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
true.
There's people putting up their clips where I'm like, you shouldn't be doing this.
No, I don't understand that. I waited years.
I think it's ego.
Yeah.
Right? It's like you see people doing it and then you're like, oh, I'm a comic. I can put up clips. It's like, no, but you're not able to see this clearly.
No.
Like, objectively. Your stuff is not at that level yet.
No, there's no laughter in that clip. That should be a sign.
I mean, I remember Sarah Silverman gave that advice on something. A few years ago, I saw her say it, and she was like, when you post something, like, you really want to make sure that it's ready to post.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, I mean, we missed the generation because of our age where, and maybe I would have made the same mistake, but like, I mean, I look back at like, we would get tapes and you had nowhere to send it. A tape you'd send to a booker, right?
Yeah.
But putting that stuff up online, it's like,
oh my God,
dude, you're going to regret that.
It's so mortifying.
If you keep doing it. It's
yeah.
Like, and there's people send me shit or they'll tag me and they're like, hey, I just did my third set and I just post. I'm like, you want to take that down, dude?
It's insane. Like I've always been probably maybe even too conservative. Like when someone offered to vouch for me at the Cellar, I waited a full year. I was like, I want to be in New York City for a year, just learning and
before I go in.
Yeah. I always wait, and it's the same with like comics. Like I'll say that to people if they're like, yeah, I didn't get picked for JFL this year. I'm like, that's amazing because
great.
Work your ass off. And then you'll get picked next year and your act will be so much better.
Yeah.
Or they'll keep picking, Nikki Glazer or Amy Schumer over you year after year. And then one day you'll be like, fuck JFL.
Hypothetically.
I'm just saying that could be a scenario.
Well, Nikki Glazer and I were new faces together, class of 2007. How's it going?
I was not.
There's a lot of people that got shunned by.
Yeah, show business. It's
but
funny.
Here's the thing:
Yeah.
it's still it's back to what we were just saying. It is just somebody in the room that day. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
I remember,
and not people that are often they're not on your team. Maybe you remind them of the bitch that dumped them in high school.
100%.
Maybe you're the ex-wife to them. Maybe they hate their mommies. Who the you know how many
pull bullet?
Huh?
You do like those competitions or the showcase, and you pull bullet. And everyone's like taking their coats off.
And then you
fuck that way.
I mean, when I look back, what was it? I have this, my first boss said to me, I had dinner with him a while back, and he's like, Christina, I gotta tell you, the odds were against you. the odds were against you, but you hung in there and you did it. You fucking did it. And he goes, and I know because I was there from the beginning. And I was like, yeah, dude. Like so many people were like, not you, bitch. But look, they can suck my dick now. What's
Absolutely,
up, bitch?
they can suck your dick.
Shout out. Hey, by the way, I wanted to give a shout out. He's passed. Bud Friedman died. Did you hear this?
Yeah, I did hear that. Bud came up to me one time at Melrose when I did a short set there, and he was like, why do you have to curse so much?
Oh,
You're a funny
yeah.
guy.
I've been told that too.
Like,
oh, really?
Cursing.
Yeah. I mean, he's an old school dude, but he was super sweet about it. And I worked with his daughter a number of times. She's she worked in stand-up, Zoe. Super sweet. But
man,
yeah, he was a pioneer for sure.
Yeah, but I can't tell you how happy I am that comedians can take their careers into their own hands now and let the audience decide whether or not you're good at this. Not just a handful of grumpy people who failed as artists.
The other side of that JFL thing, though, is you can also get, and it could be anything in show business, get something that you're like, there's no way I just got that. And that happened to me, where I showcased and bombed so fucking hard. I mean, so hard. It was like one of the rounds of showcasing at the Laugh Factory. And I remember Moshe was there. And I was like, ooh, and he was like, that wasn't good. And then the next day they were like, yeah, they'd like to have you at the, and I was like,
really? That's amazing.
But it actually just went to show that it wasn't even about the set or about, it was just like whatever connections were there. I don't know, my manager at the time and whoever's like,
it's political.
Yeah, he's ready. And they were like, okay. I mean, the guy saw me eat shit.
Well, I would like to think that they know enough about comedy to be like, oh, he's great. The crowd's funky. But I never give them that credit. I remember I was submitting a tape to Late Night and they okayed like 80% of the tape. And they just said, switch out these jokes. So I switched it and I sent in a tape from a club, but the crowd wasn't mic'd. So you could hear laughter, but it sounded like far. But I'm like, well, the rest of the set's okay. And you can tell that's the problem. But you can hear laughter, but it sounds low because the crowd's not mic'd. But I'm like, anyone who has been in the business for like 6 months would know what's going on.
Yeah.
And then the note was, it didn't sound like he was doing that well.
Oh my God.
And then so un-okayed all the other bits. I'm like, how do you have a job?
It's crazy.
It's insane.
It's insane. Yeah.
I know, dude. They're not comics.
I want to go back to this dyslexia stuff because we got sidetracked with modeling because we want to be in your modeling world.
Yeah. I'm going to send you guys pictures.
Oh my God.
So how much, like, when did you work to the point where, I don't know, like, were you taught a specific way that you could read? Or
No, for me, and dyslexia, like they say dyslexia, and it affects people very differently. But for me, I can't identify a symbol with a sound. So I couldn't read, like I know your last name, but there's no way, if I hadn't heard it out loud a bunch of times, there's no way I could read it. Like last names I can't read, street names I generally can't read because they're just words I've never seen.
What about a magazine or article?
A magazine article, I could read it because I would have memorized most of the words in the article. But if there's a word that I've never seen before, so I can read words that I've memorized and then compound words, so words that are made up of two. Like if it was Greenwood Street, I could read that. But if it was like whatever street we're on now, I've never seen that word, so I wouldn't be able to read it. No, I would just it would almost be like drawing. Today for me to get the Uber here, I had to write down your address, then like draw it, like spell it out.
Really?
Yeah. So. Yeah, it's tough, but dyslexia also affects like the more I'm learning about it, it affects like organization, which I struggle with. It affects a lot. It can affect eye-hand coordination. It can affect like depth perception. It can affect a lot of things. Yeah,
interesting. And
how did you eventually learn to read?
Just through memorizing words.
And you can write, obviously.
Yes, I can write, but it's like, I mean, my set lists are mocked daily. buy comics because it's always like, what the hell?
It's like that. Your
But you know
handwriting's
what you're
poor.
looking at.
I pretty much, yeah. But I would spell, like, say the word dyslexia is a word that I cannot spell.
It's a complicated word.
I know.
It is
You think they'd
complicated.
call it something easier for dyslexic
Yeah, or
people.
like a number, color,
a symbol, anything.
Do you write, by the way, when you write in the book, you write by hand or on a computer?
I've like learned the type, but they didn't like when I was in high school. They just put me in special ed, and I was really good in math. I was like, I was at home. I was like looking at my testing with my mom, and like I excelled in math. I was like reading at like a non-existent level, but my math was like a few grades ahead. But because I was dyslexic, they just put me in basic everything. So school was miserable,
terrible.
Yeah,
It's heartbreaking.
I've read randomly over the years all these random, incredibly high achieving dyslexic people. There's like the list is wild.
Yeah, it's like Richard Branson, Albert Einstein,
Steven
Edison,
Spielberg.
Thomas Edison, Steven Spielberg, F. Scott Fitzgerald. I read.
I'm a big Grateful Dead fan, and Bob Weir, one of the members of the Dead, is dyslexic. And so when you watch him play guitar, you're just like, whoa, yeah, that's dyslexia.
Do you know what I just heard about? I think it's him. That he is a big Golden State Warriors fan. Do you know this?
Yeah, he's all the San Francisco teams.
But that during shows, if the Warriors are playing, he has a feed.
Really?
Yeah, he'll watch the game.
I had no.
So on stage, he'll be playing and look down, and then they'll be like, "What the fuck's he doing?" And like he's watching the game right now.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
I had no idea, but I did see pictures of them when they were in the playoffs. Yeah, there's that famous picture of Bobby. On the court. Yeah, so when I found out he was, because I've been a Dead fan since I was a kid, when I found out he was dyslexic, it was just, because they'd always be like, Tom Cruise is dyslexic, and I'm like, oh, so I'm going to be in fucking Top Gun? Like, what does that mean to a kid? It means zero.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's a special, we excel in different things, but school is not for us.
Nightmare.
It's the way it's designed is 100% not for us.
Well, because it's mostly reading based. So if it's hard for you to read, if you can't read, well, then how are you going to learn science? How are you going to learn history? How are you going to learn other languages?
Yeah, they're just gonna be like, well, just keep trying to read, man.
Yeah.
Tom, that's what they said to me from kindergarten all the way to grade 12. They were just like, and they would do that thing where like, so I would be in special ed and then they would let you go to like other classes. And
that's fucking horrible.
It was horrible. They would go, okay, so we're gonna read from page 10 to 20, then talk about it. So I would just sit and I would pick like a medium, not like the smartest kid, but like kind of mid-level. And when he would turn the page, I would turn the page. And then they'd be like, let's talk about it. And I didn't know this. I didn't get any info from here. And then you got to like try to like shoot the shit about it. It was insane.
Crazy.
Yeah. It's brutal.
So hard. When did they start being able to identify dyslexia in children?
I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure. I think like now it's really changed where people are actually going like, I think it'll get to the point where like companies are like looking for a dyslexic to like head a team.
For sure.
Because we're good at like big picture stuff. It's the details that like we struggle with. And like when we read, a dyslexic reads, when you guys read, it's like the front of your brain. That's where like all this goes. For us, it's the back of our brain. It's like a whole different thing. We have a whole different
But what's
brains.
fascinating is that other parts of your brain thrive. You know, like there's like some adjustment that's happening.
Yeah, which makes sense. But there's like it's hard because I have tried to read like kind of like scientific type books about it. It's tough for me. But there are like pillars in your brain, and non-dyslexic they're closer together, and a dyslexic they're further apart. Like there are areas that we will excel at, but it's tough because if you're like made to feel stupid, which there's no way you're not going to be made to feel stupid for the first like from 5 to 18, then it's hard to get out there unscathed and be like, yeah, I'm going to apply my special brain to something else because your self-esteem. So it's for dyslexic parents, for parents of a kid, it's just maintaining self-esteem. And I don't know how my parents did that, but they somehow did that.
They did maintain yours.
Yeah, they maintained mine. Like my dad would be like, because they would say that I was like, they would flat out say he's dumb and want to fail me. And my dad would always be like, come home from work, and just be like, God damn it, you're smarter than them, and then like leave the room. So, but my mom would like patiently like go in and be like, no, he is smart. He's just struggling, and they couldn't figure out. So I was around like 10. So it was like 5 years of not knowing what was going down, and then around 10 they identified me as dyslexic. But they really didn't do much. Like my first grade 5 was the first time they put me in special ed, and we were weaving. I'm like, what the fuck is this? How am I going to apply? So now I can't read, and the only ability I have is like,
But your weave game's strong.
my weave
Are you
game
selling
is
those baskets?
unbelievable. Yeah, it was like crazy. We
show?
made like placemats.
Isn't that funny? By the way, I learned that a long time ago that the Canadians say grade 5.
I
and we
know.
say
Grade
fifth
8, grade 5.
Oh, wait.
So I would always, I remember is something I caught on, so that whenever I go to Canada, still like to this day, I had a joke in my act in this hour where I was like, oh, my son, and I would go, he's in grade 1 instead of first grade.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's because it's it's something that's so small, but it's so telling.
So Canadian.
Yeah. If you say grade 5 here, people are like, grade 5. But like,
Fucking dork.
But it's probably the same there. You say 5th grade, people are like, that's a fucking weird way to say that.
Yeah, well, Canadians can adapt to the way Americans speak better than I think Americans, because
That
we
makes
watch
sense.
so much American television, so many movies and stuff.
Yeah.
But I will blow someone's mind if I in my act, I always have to do it the American way.
Yeah.
And because I'm dyslexic, I can't differentiate the different two ways right now. But
Yeah.
I'll bust out a grade. I say grade 5, right? You guys say, yeah. I'll bust out a grade 5 on a late show, and it'll be just baffled. Like people are like,
Yeah, exactly.
running for the door because like they're
like, who says that?
Yeah, they don't know what's going down.
Yeah, put it together. Hey, let's liven the mood. I don't know if this guy's dyslexic, but something's going on, I think. Okay.
Got a brand new jar of peanut butter.
Yeah, I know him.
We need to warm it up.
Guess what?
Make it all nice and relax. Yeah. Just don't want to jump right into it.
No.
It's a brand new jar. Oh, yeah. The smell of virgin peanut butter.
He does have a point. It is fun.
He what?
He does have a point. It's fun.
It's not this fun though. It's not this erotic.
No.
Virgin peanut butter tastes the best.
Virgin peanut butter.
Nice, pure peanut butter. Can't wait till tomorrow.
Why? What's tomorrow?
Well, it's not virgin anymore.
Guess what?
What?
He has since been banned.
What? From the talk?
Yeah, from TikTok.
Why?
I don't
The
know.
injustice. These people don't know talent. I've been following this gentleman's work for a long time.
I'm not familiar with him.
Go ahead and tell her.
Well, he's into PB, and he does get erotic with it. Yeah.
He's ready to find out if I'm a good kisser or not.
Oh, boy.
Free of charge.
Oh, free? Who doesn't like free stuff?
Okay, guys. I need your help.
Okay.
I really need to find a girlfriend.
Okay.
Yeah, we knew that was coming.
So everybody that's 18 and older, can you please send my
That's
link
nice that
to
he
your
went for an
ex-girlfriend?
adult.
To your ex-girlfriend. Send a link to your ex-girlfriend. Oh.
Oh,
That's
I was
usually
afraid
stuff
that
like
was going to
this.
happen in the first clip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One more day till the magic happens.
What's the magic, though?
I'm trying to remember.
One more day till Friday.
Oh, it's Friday.
You all know what happens on Friday?
He
He
looks.
puts his dick in it, I think, on
Really?
Friday.
Does he?
I think he does put his peener in it. I think he intimates that he puts his dick in it.
I thought
if
it
I'm
was just
not
that
mistaken.
old trope of Friday. You know,
Friday.
the weekend's here. Like one of those things.
Yeah.
I
LOL.
didn't know my dick's coming in the jar.
Well, he is shirtless, licking peanut butter.
Yeah. He kept
about
referring.
to go down.
He was sexualizing it when he was
Friday night, I got a
referring to it
big
as
jar of
virgin.
peanut butter.
Yeah, he
It's
was.
Saturday now.
And he also repeated it.
It's about to go down,
Yeah,
guys.
Yeah.
It's Friday night. Okay, so we made it to Friday.
Yeah. Anyway, he's banned.
gonna fuck the peanut butter. Yeah, yeah.
Maybe that's when he went all the way with the peanut butter. Is that
Could
what?
have been. It could have been the last thing he did, and then
Yeah.
they were like, "No more for you."
Yeah.
I can't believe he's been. You know what happens though is a lot of times these people come right back with a brand new account, and I think if he can figure that out,
He'll be all right.
he'll be back.
Yeah.
They don't always figure it out fast, but
This is supposed to be
Cobra
something.
Tate's back on talk, by the way.
Cobra is?
Yeah.
I just emailed with him.
You did? What's the story? Is he gonna come in or what? He's in Romania still.
He's not going to come in. But it's fun. It's fun. It's fun to chat with him.
He's so intense.
It's so fun to have a relationship with somebody that people hate so much.
I don't know. Cobra
Andrew Tate.
Oh, Andrew Tate. Okay.
Yeah. He was on the show, and it he was introduced to a lot of people by his appearance on this show.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people credit us with.
Oh, that's huge.
We broke him.
And so many people hate him so much, and we could not find somebody more enjoyable.
Yeah.
I mean, he was seriously
He's a
like
delight.
so fun. Knew exactly what he was doing.
Yeah.
Like and he's articulate. He's funny. He makes good, interesting points. And
Well, and look, is it his?
it was a showman. He was a showman.
But is
you
it
know?
his fault that women are dumb bitches?
Women are
And
fucking stupid.
There's a
I
lot of
don't
men
know.
out there that agree.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. A lot of girls should just shut the fuck up, you know?
I don't understand why every woman's a fucking stupid idiot.
I just feel like he nailed that point.
Well, you know, I was on KFC radio a while back on Barstool.
Yeah.
And we were talking about what comes first, like the tater or the egg. Like, is it his fault that there are droves of men upset with women, or did he just galvanize an already existing group? And,
He did.
And it's like the same old shit with Tom Leykis. Remember Leykis? Like,
Oh,
dump
yeah.
that bitch. It's
Yeah.
it's an act that's been around for a long time.
And you don't, I mean, the difference now is that people go, we need to shut this voice down.
Yes.
As opposed to,
Let it
we need to
be.
ignore
Who
this person.
cares?
Yeah.
So that's the difference in the trend. The trend used to be like, that guy's a clown, if you think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Let him be an
So
idiot.
I won't listen to him.
Well, it wasn't even an option before to shut anyone
No.
down. Because you're
Why
like,
would
well, how
you?
can you shut someone down? Where
It's irrational.
Yeah.
It's like when I always feel too, it's like, and there's nothing more fun than
Stupid.
talking shit about another comic. Right?
Yes,
Like it's the
it's-
most fun thing
yeah, absolutely.
in the world. But when people go like, oh my God, and they hate this comic so much. I'm talking about like, not even other comics, but like people are just like, I hate, you know, and you're
Yeah.
like, yeah, dude, don't buy tickets.
Yeah,
Just
it's
don't
just
watch
that
this
simple.
stuff.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
it's pretty simple.
Just like, go find someone you like. Put all that energy into someone you like.
Yeah.
Like,
But also, if you hate that one person telling jokes so much, comedy's probably not for you. Like, it's
Yeah.
not your thing.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if it's that triggering,
I know.
he's joking.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, and I also, I don't know. I don't believe when it gets to that point when someone so hates a comic that much. I'm
Yeah.
like, I think what happens is a part of you kind of likes this guy or something. you know,
Yeah.
and you're mad at yourself.
Absolutely.
Well, I
Yeah.
forget who it was that said a hater is just a fan in waiting.
Yeah,
Just wait. I forget who it is. Oh, these girls on a podcast said it once. I thought that was so true because
Yeah.
I've hated people, and then now I'm a fan.
Really?
Yeah, there's a few people on the show. Someone pointed out a few people that I used to fucking really hate
Really?
on the show. Like talking. Do you guys remember what I'm talking about? Wasn't there someone very recently I talked mad shit on, and then they pointed out that I'm a huge fan now? Or maybe that happened somewhere else. But yeah, it's happened. You change. People changes. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, man.
And you grow up, and you're like, yeah, why do I hate them so much?
That does, you could like not like someone's act and then meet them and they're a really nice person. Then all of a
Yeah.
sudden their act's
That
not so
fucks.
bad.
That fucks you up so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
so
Oh, it's the
bad.
worst. You got to like tell your friends you've been talking shit about the person for
Yeah.
years. You're like, I maybe jumped the gun on that.
So true.
Especially if they're like really amazing in person.
Yeah.
like great person. Then you're
Oh,
like,
man.
fuck, I'm
Yeah.
a piece of shit.
Fucking volunteers.
But
Yeah.
I
the
know.
other side is that like you can meet somebody that you like and their act is terrible, and then you're like, oh God,
That's worse.
that is really hard. That is
It's tough.
really, really tough.
It's very tough. And then you kind of want to go, just stop doing this.
Yeah. You want to rewrite. You're like, look, I've been spitballing some of your premises, and here's a different way to go.
Or do you ever like to horrify yourself sometimes? Like, do you ever like to think bad thoughts just for the thrill of thinking the bad thought? Like, I will sometimes think of old jokes of mine, like I wrote the first 4 years in comedy, like just to feel the embarrassment, like, like just to kind of
I
like
avoid
cry.
that.
I've never been down that road.
You don't do that, like just to
No.
torture yourself
I
a little.
hate it.
You're
I
like,
like to
oh,
separate from
fuck.
that. I want
Yeah.
to push that so far away.
Yeah.
I do it sometimes. It's just
I can't watch myself from like a year ago.
oh
I'm
my
like, oh.
God.
Yeah, it's hard.
hate myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was so funny that we talked about this, that when we were hanging out with Chris Rock and we're like, how's it going? He's like, you know, there's people here. It's like, this is before the show. He's like, I guess people, you know, I guess I'm all right. I don't know. Like, and you're like, you talk like this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, even you
Yeah.
do this?
No,
Yeah.
because we walked in and we were like, we're so excited to see your new set. And he's like, don't be. I'm terrible. It's
Yeah,
all bad. And I was
same
like,
shit.
and both of
Wow.
us were like, oh my God, Chris Rock hates himself
Yeah.
too.
How fun is
and
that?
we even told
Yeah.
him, we're like, we're so excited that you hate your own stuff too.
Yeah. Well, that's also a sign that someone's good.
I hope.
You know?
Yeah.
If they're like, wait till you see what's about to happen.
Yeah.
Could you
I'm
imagine?
gonna blow your fucking mind.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay.
Attell, you'll see like
Oh, it's so embarrassing.
Attell will be at the cellar. You'll watch him. You'll be like, "That's the greatest thing. That no one's going to be better, funnier,
So funny.
quicker. That's the best." And then you'll be like, "Oh, that was great." And you'll be like, like you tell it he was not like over the moon with the set or whatever. You're just like, "How is that possible?"
Yeah, or he'll be the few times that I've seen him, he'll be thrilled with something that you're like, "That's the part you're excited about?"
Yeah,
and you realize it's just something an idea that he thought was fun.
Yeah.
That's what he likes.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, I finally got that mermaid line to work.
Yeah. And
you're like, well, the whole thing wasn't killer.
He's like, oh, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It's all, and literally every dog shit comic you've ever met's like, I love watching my stuff.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, the people that you were talking about posting the clips. Yeah.
Oh my God.
You know how hard it is for me to post a stand-up clip? Like from my last special, like the promoting it, like just posting a clip on Instagram gives me so much diarrhea. Just like it's so out of context. It's one moment it needs to be in the piece.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh God, I have so much agita just thinking about fucking how stupid my act is. Okay, sorry, let's go ahead.
No, let's watch something funny.
Yep.
Turn off!
Tom, you tricked me. That's not funny.
Solo. I had not seen that clip.
What? How damaged was he after that?
I think he's got some real problems now.
Oh, really? I'm sorry. I assumed no one was going to get hurt.
What folder was that in?
Oh, that's a prank from the
Oh shit! It's this game we play called Horrible or Hilarious, and
and
Tom,
it says "Tu n'es pas Superman," so you are not Superman, right? That's French for "you are not Superman." So I think he's telling him. I mean, come on, you're the Canadian.
I know, but I can't even read English.
It's so horrible.
Whoa!
No, again, Tom.
What's he doing? Oh,
I don't think he should be doing that.
Oh yeah, he's got a big dent in his head. Yeah.
Oh, you can see.
Yeah, you can see it. And also, there's probably not a great clinic nearby, just based on the footage. They're not like, let's run you over to Cedars-Sinai.
Yeah. That's
sure.
terrible.
Yeah, where's that in Haiti? Somewhere?
I don't know. I mean, it might be. It's
Yeah,
French.
Yeah.
That when he was holding on to that thing, you just know you're not supposed to hold on to that thing.
This will be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
I wonder how strong I am. No, you're not that strong.
Oh, his head looked damaged.
Yeah.
I feel terrible for that dude.
Why would you hold the thing though?
That seems like a bad move.
Don't touch it. It's a treadmill.
Do you know from our show, maybe you've caught wind of, do you know who Robert Paul Champagne is?
No.
Just to give you the basis of who he is, he's this guy.
I know this guy.
Okay,
I know this guy. I know this guy. This guy gets so amorous.
Fuck me at $23.95.
Yeah.
Move in, you can move in.
But you gotta
Fuck, man.
I need to be
fucked a lot,
man. Get free food, free rent, and everything else.
He says if you're out of jail.
Yeah, yes. So the other day, Robert messages me all the time.
Really?
All the time. And he says things like, I hope you have a great weekend. And I'll be like, hey, you too, man. And he'll be like, how was your week? And I'll go, it was good.
Sorry, he gets you on your cell phone?
No.
Here's your phone number?
On
just the DMing. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, don't give me your number.
This is what fascinates me because I've seen episodes with him a couple times.
Yeah.
So did you think someone says, "Hey, man, you're on this on this podcast now"? Is that how he and then reaches out to you? How does he find out?
No. Well, the way that somebody found him. So we had played this clip forever.
Yeah.
And then one day somebody sends a video and they go, yo, I think we found the piss on me, beat me guy, the try it out guy. And they show him singing, I think, at Coney Island.
Oh, okay.
Right? And we're like, holy shit, is that the guy? And then, more people are like, I think I saw that guy. Somehow, some way, we find an Instagram page that they say it's him. We end up getting a phone number. We end up talking to him, and we verify that it's him. And we end up having this relationship. And, we've sent a couple of producers to do segments. So Dr. Drew's been to his place. Josh Potter's been to his place.
Whoa, really?
Oh yeah. So we've, he's been on our live shows, and we have an actual relationship with him.
We're deep in it now.
And we've got him cell phones and computer. Like we've got him equipment.
Oh, that's great. So, you get him pissed on?
No, I've tried.
Oh, okay.
I've tried very hard to do that. But the other day, he sends me a message, and he's just like, back to work. And I'm like, me too. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I just go to his page, and I see what he's posting. He lists his name. He goes his name. He always gives his address and his phone number. Listen to the amount of phone numbers he gives for himself from memory.
And welcome to Lucifer's Light. I'm your hot host, RPC man, and we are here at 2395 Wagner House, apartment 2C, building 18, 124th and 1st Avenue, east side of Harlem. That's right, guys. You hear me right loud. I am here at 917-353-2913 or 347-281-3156 or 646-241 8615 or 646 373 917-353 917-353-2913 or 347-281-3156 or 646-241-8615. Okay, I'm here, guys. Yeah. So let me know, guys. Hey, what's going on, man? At 2395. Hey, I am here, guys. RPC looking for some hot guys who want to come over and party hard. Let me know. That's crazy. I'm trying to watch what I eat, guys. I don't know, but it was a ham and cheese, but just didn't do me for shit. I don't know. Whatever. Nothing about eating, okay? But here, 917-353-2913.
What the fuck? I mean, how many fucking phones does he
Just
have?
lighting matches. I don't know how he memorized all that.
There's 6 phone numbers.
It's a lot of phone numbers. And he's got a flair for decor, too, man. I like that unicorn in the back.
One for the plug and one for the low. He's got a lot of numbers, dude.
Does he get laid?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think so.
Yeah.
He's down.
But I can appreciate how shameless he expresses his sexual urges.
Yeah.
That's what we love about him is his openness and honesty
Yeah.
and his availability. He does like to reiterate.
He's got 6 numbers. You can always
Could
reach
you
him.
imagine? I wonder, does he have landlines? Are these all burner phones? Are these internet phone numbers?
I mean, what does he have? 6 phones laying
I don't
around?
know. Are
It's
these
wild.
neighbors' phone
Are
numbers?
they all? Maybe they're all the like the Google numbers where you call it and it forwards to one.
Oh.
But why would you put out so many numbers?
No. Yeah.
That doesn't help, right? To have that many numbers.
Can we call some and figure this out? Should we have you guys call and like?
Not now.
I mean, not right now,
Yeah.
but let's get this straight because this is crazy.
I want him to pare down his number of phones.
Yeah.
I think it'll help with getting pissed on him.
I think,
Yeah.
he's going to be dry as long as he's got 6 phones.
I think so too.
Yeah. Stick to one. I mean, even giving out. I forgot that he gives out like the apartment number.
That's wild.
Address, full address.
2395
Wagner Houses, apartment 2C, building 8. I mean, 124th and 1st Avenue, east side of Harlem. Give me a call, 917. I'm like,
you know what? I lived at one point. I lived like 8 blocks from him.
wow.
Yeah.
This is when you first got there.
Things have turned around.
Okay,
Yeah,
he's struggling when you
I haven't
first
been
got
pissed
there.
on for a while. But yeah, I lived up there. It's serious. East Harlem is it's like the only neighborhood that's not gentrified whatsoever. Like it has not changed at all.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we were like practically neighbors.
Holy
you're
shit.
so lucky.
Yeah.
8 blocks from him.
Yeah, 8 blocks. Yeah, I lived on 116th.
Wow.
This whole time you could have been pissing on him but you're not a black guy.
Double dating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit. This also came in from, you're currently a New Yorker. Ted Cruz went to a Yankees game.
Oh,
see
nice.
this? Listen to how he gets heckled by the fans there.
Fuck you, you racist piece of shit! Fuck you! Fuck you, man! You suck! You fucking suck, dude! You're a disgrace! You go to fucking hell, dude! Remember when Trump called your wife ugly? Remember that? Remember when Trump called your wife ugly and then you nominated him? You're a disgrace to this country! You fucking piece of shit! Remember when those insurrectionists wanted to murder you?
Yo,
Yo, go ugly piece of shit. Yo, go vote Trump. Get the fuck out of New York. Get out of New York. Trump called your wife ugly and you loved it. You ugly fuck, get the fuck out of here. Eat my dick, you asshole.
New York.
I love it.
You gotta love it.
He played it off. He played it off like
people are. He's like,
he's like, nice to see everyone.
Yeah. That's the move, I guess. If people are hating you, you go, it's good to see you.
I get it is. It's like an overconfident comic. He's bombing.
Yeah.
Who doesn't.
Thank you guys very much.
Yeah. Still giving the same amount of energy.
Do you realize, like, being a politician is that half the population at least fucking hates your guts
Most
that
of the time.
much all the time? Like, you just get a barrage. Like, we get hatred.
Not that much.
Not like
That's
that.
crazy.
Yeah, he's the most hated.
But why? You think he would be like, yeah, maybe a Yankees game isn't a great place for me to hang.
It's the worst place for him to
Yeah.
go. This be like Pelosi going to a fucking Alabama football game.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
you're gonna get fucking.
It's a weird move.
murdered. It's so weird, and like I would think that him being as hated as he is, he's pretty much hated nationally. You know? Internationally. Going to Yankee, he would need like serious security, not like one or two guys.
It's not like that drummed up votes. Why would he even go?
I always wanted to see a Yankee game.
I
don't know, man.
He
I
should
don't know.
stay away for sure.
Yeah, smug. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah, smug.
He's
I
so
wanna
fat.
go.
He is fatter than before, no?
Yeah, he's been getting fatter. Yeah.
The beard is not doing him favors either.
It's not a cool beard.
No, you can't have a thin beard when you're fat. It's got to be a full beard.
He's. I think he wasn't he born in Canada?
Yeah.
Oh shit,
Wild.
dude.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's one of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of us.
Yeah, it's funny because I went up there and I talk about him at one point, and I was backstage at the first show I was doing. I think I was in Toronto, and I was talking to like the staff, and I was like, "Oh, would people know Cruz?" And they're like, "Of course." And I was like, "They would." They go, "He's Canadian. He's a piece of shit. We all hate him." I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay." I was like, "Great."
Oh, good.
Just making
nice.
sure. Yeah, and it did. It fucking killed.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it killed.
Yeah, yeah. They because you wouldn't the Canadian equivalent to Ted Cruz. Americans wouldn't know, but we watch like American news.
Yeah.
We watch, so we know all those dudes.
It is funny the roller coaster ride of what has been the Trudeau years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Because like he came on, and people, it's funny because everybody ultimately, like what people are attracted to in politicians, a lot of times they're just like, oh, this guy's handsome.
absolutely. Yeah,
And that's what everybody was like. Have you seen this really handsome guy
And he really
running
is.
Canada?
Yeah,
he's a handsome
He's
dude.
good looking.
He's a
He
good
is
looking
He should
man.
model in Milan too.
I think he probably
That's
did.
what I'm getting at. Yeah.
Yeah.
But and then he seemed like this sensible, empathetic type of guy.
Yeah.
But in the last few years, he's become very polarizing.
Oh, totally. I don't follow Canadian politics are not as exciting as American politics. I don't really follow Canadian politics, but yeah, I remember when he came out and he had like wore blackface to like parties and like that. And it's not like, oh yeah, he did that. It was the 70s. Like we were all, you know what I mean? People were. It was like not that long ago. It was wild.
Wild.
Yeah, just a rich kid in blackface.
But also the way that he, I guess, handled COVID, it split the country pretty much.
Yeah, I was shocked when there was all those protests and stuff like that.
And I was there a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
And I was walking on the streets of Toronto.
Yeah.
And there were massive anti-Trudeau marches.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Just thousands of people walking down. Fuck Trudeau sign. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I don't really know the stories that much. I'm just like, wow. This
They
is
don't like
pretty-
him anymore. He's not so cute.
I think it's pretty split.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. And then he I guess he's not. People talk I don't know a ton. I don't know why people dislike him so much.
I think he's getting. Isn't he too lefty now?
He's super lefty, yeah.
Like
yeah.
too lefty.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So progressive.
So progressive.
So progressive. Yeah. They can be too much.
Do you still have family in Canada?
No, not anymore.
Really?
My grandma used to live in Toronto. That's how she said it. And then no, she said, oh wait, no, I'm lying. I have 2 cousins. I'm sorry. Sorry, Justin and Leo. Yeah, I've got a couple of
Justin
cousins. No, not Trudeau, but yeah, Justin and Leo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and yes, Hungarians out there too.
Living in Canada?
Yeah.
Still in Windsor?
I don't think in Windsor. I forget where Justin and
You'd
Leo
hope
live.
they were-
And of
made a
course,
little progress.
Shane from Road Rules. Shout out to Shane.
Calgary.
I consider him a
He's in
brother.
Calgary.
Yeah. We just texted yesterday.
He's good, dude.
He's the best.
Yeah.
But no, I haven't even gone back to where I was born. So I'd love to see the beautiful apartment complex.
Yeah,
I was there. You don't. It's fine.
I hear it's lovely.
There's a nice
Windsor.
casino.
Yeah, Windsor's it's famous for strip bars,
casinos,
and like American, like drunk teenager Americans that can't drink in America yet, but can drink at 19 in Windsor.
You know what's it's so fitting that that's my birthplace. I like that. For some reason, I love that I was born at like the trashiest part of Canada.
I mean that and like,
the Vegas of Canada. Like,
can I tell you what blew
shittiest
my
part.
mind on this tour? Because I did so many fucking shows, and I went to places I hadn't been to.
Yeah,
and I just did Halifax.
Oh, okay.
And it was fucking awesome.
Halifax is amazing.
I had no idea. So it's just like one of those things. They're like, you're going, and you're like, all right.
Yeah.
And it was like beautiful.
Yeah.
And the people were awesome. And the show was bananas.
Yeah.
And it was the best. It was the best time.
I love Halifax. Yeah, Halifax is really cool. The whole like east, that whole like the maritime provinces are cool.
It's in Atlantic time.
Oh,
you know that? It's a half hour ahead of
Yeah.
Eastern time.
Yeah.
And what's their specialty food? Do they have a poutine
It's
type
all
of
fish,
fish?
seafood.
Yeah, like fish and stuff. But Halifax, that whole area, Halifax
gorgeous.
is a big party town though. People get loaded and and it's a big fighting town too.
Fighting town.
Yeah.
People getting fights.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't
Cool.
have that, but it was a nice surprise stop.
Yeah, Halifax is beautiful for sure. And it's a good comedy town.
Yeah, it was one of the best shows of the tour.
Oh, okay, Halifax.
Speaking of shows, don't forget, check out Phil Hanley's new special, Ooh La La. It's on his YouTube channel right now, which I'm assuming is youtube.com/Phil Hanley.
If you put Phil Hanley Ooh La La, you'll get it.
You'll get it.
My YouTube channel doesn't have like that little thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then when is the book gonna come out? Do you know yet?
I'll probably finish it in the next like 6 months, and then it'll come out a year after that.
Okay.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'm
Well, I
excited
look
to get
forward to reading. Will you
Yeah.
please send us a copy?
Absolutely, I
and-
will. Yeah, for sure.
That'd be awesome.
Thank you for coming in
Thanks
today,
for
man.
coming,
Oh, thank you. That went by so quick. What
Yeah.
a blast.
I know, right?
It was
So
great
fun.
to see you guys.
Great to
you
see you too,
too.
man. Model Phil Hanley, everybody.
You guys are doing good.
Hey, you just watched a full episode of Your Mom's House. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you didn't, watch another one. Maybe you'll like that one. They're everywhere. Look, I don't know. They place them in like cubes, squares, whatever it is. Just click another one. Maybe you'll find someone you like or someone will get hurt.